Hello once again, friends. It's Erico Blueberry, an Unassuming Destiny podcast. My name is chillybin.
It's Meckii.
We are back. We've had another one of our longer than intended unplanned breaks. It started out with, hey, we're going to take a couple weeks to go do PAX, or at least a week. I think maybe we said 2. I don't remember. It was a while ago. And then I got COVID from PAX, as did a lot of other people that I know. And then, I don't know, there was just some other life stuff. You and I got busy with work and I just went to Sydney for a conference. We almost missed this week. But we're back. We're here again. We're going to catch up all the stuff we've missed. I haven't played a whole lot because of the sickness and the busyness. But we'll get there. We'll get through there. We'll get through it. We'll get there. End of sentence. What's been going on? What is actually happening in the video game Destiny 2 right now? Because I haven't played it in probably over a week. As we both stopped to take a drink. Festival of the Lost, yes. No, I did play that for a few hours the other night and was like, oh yeah, these pumpkin-headed fucks. I remember this.
Except we now have the absolute pleasure, and I don't even say that sarcastically, I mean it, of Imaru having voice lines in this run.
Yeah, I think I must have been
a lot of voice lines.
I must have been, because I didn't notice any actual changes with how the event runs. Festival of the Lost becomes I'm going to have a podcast or some music or something on, so I wasn't really catching a lot of the voice lines. How are they? Very good.
Bullies the ever-loving shit out of you, and I love it.
Good.
There's a voice line before you get all the pumpkin boys, the jack-o'-lanterns, the Lewises. And then just before the boss loads in, he says something like, you forgot to change your mods, didn't you? Oh, and you're going in with that armor?
Oh my god.
Ugh, like bullies you. And the
like
first time I heard
wall
it,
breaking too.
The first time I heard it, I was like, wait, did I not change my mod? Like, it gaslit me for a second. Like, it kind of made me stop where I was like, wait, is this game now looking at my loadout and being like, this is not appropriate for what you're about to do, homie? Like, but it's just a voice line.
Okay. Yeah, that's wild. Maybe I'll go in there and I'll raw dog it. No music in the background, nothing. Just try and catch some Imaru heaters coming my way. That sounds fun. So, I was checking notes earlier. Our last episode was like 24th or something of September, so
it was a month ago. Yeah,
had to scroll back a bit in the notes channel. The last where we left off essentially story wise for this season. We're done the first instance of the Imbaru engine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the first week that we missed was the second and final iteration on that, which was a
pretty much
completely different puzzle thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, well, you had to go and find another card and then do the quest, and then that would allow you to open the big doors at the back of the chamber. Then you go into the other bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you have to kill a hive, and then the direction the hive is looking in is the next hive that you have to kill.
Yeah, they're all inactive, like they're crouching down. They don't get triggered by you doing anything.
Yeah, they don't respond,
until you damage one of them.
Mm-hmm. And then the second room is you have to kill every second one?
No, not quite. So I ended up looking this up because I was trying to work it out, because they're all on plates that are pointing in a direction, and you use some deep sight to work out where to start, and you're basically following the chain forward. So the first one you have to kill is a hive knight, and then that's pointing to another knight. And I had to look this up because I was getting so fucking frustrated just trying to problem solve it. if if it points to a knight, kill the knight. If it points to a cursed thrall, skip one and kill that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of, yeah. It was like you had to skip. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but I remember you had to skip.
Yeah, and there's like nothing about. Usually, when they do stuff like that, there's some clue in either the name they apply to those enemies or something in the room or in the like the mission objective or whatever. There was nothing, so I was just like, "How am I supposed to work this out?" Like,
The fuck is this?
yeah, and so you start in like the central room, and you follow the chain, and then it like goes up a ramp, and then over into one of those classic like big hive cylinder buildings. And so you have to work out like, okay, they're all in there and I can't see them from where the knight is I just killed. Is it this one I have to kill? And then that was the bit that like took me a while to get right, because like it went kill the knight over the wall to a cursed thrall, so then I had to go to the next one. But like it was, the angle was hard to track as I jumped over the wall. But yeah, you kill, I don't know, like 20 of these dudes. And then I forget what the thing at the end was. There's reveals, there's lore stuff. It was a month ago. Sue me.
Yeah. But it was fun. I got it done. And then I unlocked Harris Beck Gutlooker.
Yes, you did get that title. I was very proud to see that come through. I was like, she fucking did it.
First seasonal title.
It's very good. It was... I'm checking. It was almost 2 weeks after I had for the 10th time Gilded Dredgen. I didn't go and like go ham in like the first week or two of the season this time, but I did basically pick a week where it was bonus points, and I was just like, I'm just gonna get it done this week. I don't care. So now it's 10 out of 10 Gilded Dredgen. Come at me, Scrub Lord.
We've been doing pretty good with titles because I got Iron Lord again.
Yes, you did. You gilded that.
Yeah.
Little gremlin. Yeah, I can't let the streak die.
I'm committed to the Iron Lord streak now too.
Yeah. The Iron Lord one annoys me because like all but one of them are super easy to get like within 1 or 2 weeks of the season without playing like an excessive amount of Iron Banner. But to get the one of like, what is it, the win 50 or whatever, and it's like you get 4% per win or something. That one always feels like a fucking grind. Takes so much longer than the other ones do that I'm like, this doesn't feel good.
Having a complete IB build though makes it go a lot quicker, I've noticed.
Yeah, but you still like, you're in a 6v6 unless you're like fire teaming up. It's somewhat out
rough.
of your hands.
It was rough, yeah. I gilded it at hour 0 again. It was like 8 p.m. the night before reset.
Isn't there still another week of it this season or no?
I can't remember because they're already talking about the next season, so I feel like we're due to reset soon.
Yeah, you probably got like 2, maybe 3 more weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's usually how it goes. 3-week event, 1 or 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then we find out whatever the fuck the next season is, but we'll get to that because there's tasty notes this week about that. Mm-hmm. Early on in this season, before we get to that, you had said, I really wish they make a tarot deck. And then
I did.
Yeah, right as you're like, right as you finish, basically in that last like week of the seasonal story stuff, they dropped it on the store, and you've got to like do the 12 major arcana quest to unlock it. But you get like a little deck of cards and a little like bag and little deck.
I want it so hard. I want it so bad. It's so pretty, and it's a wooden box.
Yeah.
And it's designed so you can actually like display a card in the end of the box.
Oh yeah, so it is.
It's really pretty,
They
but
are good.
I'm so broke.
Well, and look, take it from me, someone who has historically bought a lot of shit from that store and has stopped. That product is $30 US. The shipping on that is going to be more like 50 or 60. And that's an educated guess. I haven't verified that, but that's kind of the state that that store is in. And that's why I've basically stopped, except for stuff that is so expensive that the shipping is
justified.
Is like,
yeah.
well, it's more that like it relative to the cost of the item is a little easier to swallow.
I just, and it's so hard up my aesthetic too with the black and the gold.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so annoyed.
Yeah.
Jump up for a second and turn my fan up because whatever is in this room that's stinging my eyes, hopefully my fan can dissipate it.
Yeah. Blow that shit out of there.
I think I found the culprit.
Dust?
No, so while I was gone, Mum used up all of my incense. So she replaced my incense. And I think I might be a little bit allergic to this one. There's something about it that's like burning the shit out of my eyes and the inside of my nose.
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
It's not my usual incense. So I've had to open the door and hopefully Sergey behaves because he's adjusting to his medication. And this is around the time that he goes on one for a little bit and then the medication kicks in.
Adjusting to his medication and his new haircut. Walking around like a little skinhead.
Like a little rat boy.
Yes.
My rat king.
Rat king. Yeah, so deck of cards.
Tarot cards.
Sick as hell.
So up my alley.
Yes, the deck of whispers. It just...
Oh, and you get a black and gold emblem when you buy them.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna scream.
I'm gonna scream, I'm gonna piss, I'm gonna cry. They're all gonna happen at the same time.
My Ko-fi's linked in my Twitter bio if anyone wants to get me the deck.
Please. Cool. Now we're very quickly brought basically up to date. So we're into Festival of the Lost. I don't know if they did this last year.
We forgot to mention a very important lore thing.
Hang on, go on. What?
The end of the season lore.
Oh, the fucking cutscene?
Savathun comes back and then Eris goes, jokes.
Fucking
ganks her and then
eats her. Well, what is it? She's basically like, because
Eris serves and then she eats.
It's basically doing the high thing of like consuming Savathun to like get her knowledge and powers and all that, right? And then the
sword logic in it.
Yes, but then the way that her plan comes to fruition to thwart Ziva Wrath is to choose to
not engage with her.
Well, she says like, I choose not to name this moment. Basically just saying like, I'm just going to let this happen. It's not momentous. It's just a thing. And then we are not going to fight.
It's not a spoil of war, which is the kind of thing that Zivu thrives off. And I thought that was really clever. I think it's like when you know the Hive lore, especially Savathun and Zivu and that whole, I guess, family and the sword logic, it's the logical thing for Eris to be like, I'm just not going to engage.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we engaged with Savathun's thing, sword logic, to get her up to power so that I could do this. Why would I then power Zivu?
Yeah.
We're trying to beat her. Why would I engage in the sword logic that empowers her?
Yeah.
And I was like, how did I miss that? In my head, I was like, what a twist. And I was actually, no, lore-wise, makes sense.
Yeah.
Eris is very smart.
Yeah, but one thing she said was like, you know, in the act of doing that, for a moment, she was the most powerful hive that has ever existed.
Which terrified her.
Yeah. Yeah, and so basically it ends with her like...
I sorry.
Are you feeling sick? I sorry. Yeah, she basically like does all that and then just like lets all of the hive shit leave her body, right? Like, just goes back to being normal Eris, but is just like a bit fucking knackered.
Yeah, she's deeply traumatized.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than normal.
Yeah.
I just love the moment where Savathun like more or less looks at Eris and goes, "It looks good on you."
Mm.
And then Eris is like, "Thank you," but I was like, "Ha!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Ganked.
I'm actually like impressed is not the right word, but I really enjoyed the way that resolved because it let Eris have, I don't know, control over her own outcomes in a way that it doesn't seem like
Autonomy.
Well, yeah, but like it usually feels like she's being pulled forward by some hive bullshit or some big plan, and this is her like actually going, no, I'm going to actively choose not to do that and do this other much harder thing.
It's her denying the sword logic.
Mm.
Being the most powerful hive on earth and being like hive god. Let's be honest, she was a hive god.
Yeah.
And then being like, no, I'm not going to follow the sword logic. Sorry. Good night.
Yeah, this
Bye.
is dumb.
I'm going to go drink some tea.
Yes.
I love that bit. I need some tea.
Yeah.
What was it? Silence and tea.
Yeah. Love that. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, she's usually just been like the weird little witch that sits in the corner and does a ritual every few seasons or so. And this one was like, no, she's fully like in charge of some shit here.
The weird little
good.
freak who says weird unhinged shit.
Yeah. But yes, it's
gains power of chaos.
Oh.
Chaos is my sword logic.
What would my sword logic be? I don't know.
Passive aggressive. No, I'm kidding.
Hello?
Never mind.
Fuck. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yes. Yeah, no, I like I said, it's been basically a month since that stuff happened. I fully forgot about that cutscene, but like, man, that was one of the better cutscenes I think they've done in a minute.
Also, like, more or less turning around to Imaru and being like, you'll live for now. You're annoying as fuck, so shut up. But like, we're keeping you alive.
Yeah. Yeah, because the way that they've done this means that Savathun can't be brought back, right?
Quite sure.
Well, because
they never really covered that.
Basically like absorbed all her shit. Where does that go?
Can she return it? I sorry. I hope you get better.
Yeah,
it's your queen.
Have this.
It's your queen over. I made you a chug.
This being one of the recurring jokes from our time together at PAX has just reminded me, and I can't believe I didn't mention this earlier, that you had our first actual fan interaction.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible...
Shout out K-Dog.
It was an incredibly cute story, but the funniest part... I'm going to let you tell it, because it doesn't make me look good.
On one of the days, I had a coworker come up to me, very confused, and be like, Meckii, there is someone here to see you. And I thought they meant a guest. Without getting too much into what we do, I assumed it was a guest or another coworker. And I turn around and it's this very lovely girl. And they were like, I think they're a fan. They said something about being a fan. And I was like, someone's fucking with me. Like, I genuinely thought like maybe a mate from Twitter was being a bit of a dickhead. And like they'd seen me and then they're like, oh, I'm going to make Meckie's life a bit of a living hell.
Yeah, like there's like 6 or 7 different groups someone like that could have come from.
Yeah. I'm friends with content creators as well who pull some bullshit. So I was anticipating to turn around and see like a content creator that I work with or that I know and be like, you're a dickhead. But it was a very lovely girl. And I walked up and she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, she was geeking out, which was really weird to me. And and I was just like, hey, and she was like, yeah, I know you from like Twitter and your Destiny podcast. And I kind of started laughing and I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like I've never had this happen before. And she was like talking about how much she liked my energy. Shout out K-Dog. And all this stuff. And she was like, oh, it's just, yeah, it's really, she said something about like, it's really nice to see a girl in the Destiny community and like someone who talks so passionately about Destiny. And then I casually went, you're so nice, gave her a hug. And then I was like, if you want, Chillybin is just over there. He's a little bit busy, but I'm sure if you let him know where you're from, he'll be more than happy to say hi. And she's more or less like, no, I'm good.
It's still funny. I love that story so much.
She very politely was just like, she wasn't just straight up like, I'm good. She very politely more or less said, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like, I like your content and your Twitter more. Something like that, like very gently, like let you down.
No, I don't feel bad about that at all.
She gave me a hug and then she thanked me for hanging out and apparently was like, thank you for being so cool. And I was like, I don't know what about my energy would give off that I wouldn't, unless you're a dickhead, like unless you're some dickhead crying about numbers on Twitter about Destiny 2. Like nice to everyone until I'm not. I'm a nice guy until I'm not. The words of Enter Shikari.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny just for me to be like, Chili's over there if you want to go talk to him, and her more or less be like, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go this way.
Complete opposite direction. But it makes sense. I mean, if you're a girl and a girl fan of something and there's a female content creator in a collab, you're probably more inclined to go say hi to the girl if the girl in content creating or non-male makes you feel safe within the community.
Yeah, like I said, I am
so funny though.
I am unbothered by that situation, and it's immensely funny.
The fact for a little bit you thought I was memeing until the person who came up to me to tell me the person was there was like, no, like it happened.
Yeah.
You thought I was fucking with you?
Yeah, because it just, like you said, has never happened to either of us before. And quite frankly, we're still fairly small, numbers-wise, audience-wise.
Our biggest video is the showcase reaction. And even then, that's 2K views.
Yeah.
We average between 50 to 100, depending on what the episode is. So for someone to be like, hey, I recognize you from this piece of content you make.
Yes.
And being a loudmouth on Twitter.
Yeah. It's good to celebrate those moments.
Yeah.
Which is why I wanted you to tell that story again. It's not really celebrating anything for me.
The two things people came up to me about at PAX. One person about this podcast and a few people in the Australian community who came up to thank me for being really loud on Twitter about predators.
We love that.
Being a loudmouth bitch on the internet pays off sometimes.
Yes, it does. It does have its perks. Anyway, to go back to Destiny for a moment. Festival of the Lost. I don't know if this was a thing last year, but in the screen where you can focus the engrams, the title at the top of the page is Hocus Focusing, and I love it.
I think I went back and read a couple of twabs, and I think they said it was a new name for the season.
Okay. Hocus Focusing. It's very silly.
It's very fun. It's everything we love about this silly game.
Yeah, I haven't really, like I said, I haven't done much of this year's festival yet. We've still got this week and next week with it, right? Yeah.
14 days or just under 14 days on the event counter on the main screen.
Is there anything good with the, armor sets or the weapons this year? I know the Titan armor set basically has, a bunch of spider legs coming out of the back.
The only thing I've noticed is the weapons are a fun neon pink this year. They're hideous. They're not their usual white, orange, and purple colorway. They're like neon pink, yellow, and purple,
Hell yeah.
which I think is really interesting. They're so hideous and I love
Just
them.
candy colors, right?
They're so ugly. I love them so much.
Yes, tasty candy.
Also, I got a really excellent grenade launcher with wellspring on it, which has been feeding my unhinged void build.
Yes. I also don't think they've changed much about the event. Like, there might be some small tweaks I'm missing, but it seems basically the same.
It's basically the same, yeah. There's nothing I've noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they have the thing last year where it was like the selective difficulty mode?
I can't remember. I haven't noted. Oh, there's two different types of.
Yeah, there's the separate playlist, and one of them is like basically doing it on legend mode, which doesn't have matchmaking. And I don't think we had that last year, but it's one of the gilding triumphs for the title.
Yeah, so you've got the two different options when you go into the event. You scroll north on the tower instead of just the one. It's two different options.
So that's cool. That's something else to do. And I guess like if you're going to be gilding event titles, you need some way to like make it a bit more of a challenge that isn't just do a fuckload of the thing.
Yeah.
You still kind of have to, but you know, I want to get that sparrow too. That sparrow looks haggard.
Oh, which one's that?
I think it looks like some kind of weird bug. I think it's all bugs this year.
Yeah.
But that means I've got to go do a lot of haunted lost sectors.
I'm so down.
Okay.
Beers.
You want to do that tonight?
Beers, blech, and booze. Yes.
Yes. Blechs of all kind. Maybe a cheeky arf. Where was I going with this?
Hasty little everything is quiet now.
You said something about Vex Incursion like a couple of times this week. What the fuck is going on with Vex Incursion right now?
I've been farming the shit out of Vex Incursion public events so that I can get exotics that I don't already have.
Oh, is it broken in some way, or is it just a repeatable way to get them?
That random Vex Strike Incoming is what it's called, and it's a public event that happens in the Vex Incursion zone.
Yeah.
It's randomized.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed to drop an exotic that you haven't dropped already every single time you do it.
What, out of the whole pool?
Yes. So it prioritizes.
So you don't have to do lost sectors?
So it's something they've done to make it more accessible to get that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That drop.
Okay. Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, legendary lost sectors just. I mean, it took me 3 days at one point to get my boots of the assembler, right?
You have to kind of approach the game almost like you would Grandmasters, and a lot of people just aren't doing that.
A lot of people don't want to play that kind of top level of Destiny or have the time, where these Vex Incursion strikes, Vex Strike Incoming, depending on who you're rolling it with, you can get them done in 5 minutes. It's a guaranteed drop. And I finally dropped a helmet from season, early D2 that I have not been able to drop.
Wow. Are they
Dawn Chorus?
Are they? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Are they relatively easy to find, the events themselves? Is it regular?
They happen at random, but what's happened is I joined a Discord server.
Okay, so you're just fire teaming on people who are in one?
The Discord server notifies you when there's one incoming.
Oh.
And then on top of that, as soon as one gets notified, people start throwing join codes into the Discord.
So is it like it happens at a random time, but it's global?
Yeah. Oh. It's instance based.
Right. Okay. So I didn't know if it was within each region they would be on different times.
It's instance based.
Yeah.
So I've made, in the last 2 weeks I've been doing it, I pretty much jumped into it almost every evening. I'll do 2 or 3, depending on how often they drop. Since we got back from PAX.
Right.
And now I have homies I played with a guy from Hong Kong the other night.
Wow.
I've played with Americans, because it'll drop in and then you just use someone's join code and drop in on them.
Yeah.
Do it and then bail. And then usually what'll happen is they'll jump in the voice chat in the Discord server.
Oh, sure.
And like after doing 4 or 5 of them, I tested, I jumped in and was like, hello, like very anxiously. And someone else who was in there who was non-male was like, a girl? I was like, yes. And she's like, they was like, fuck yeah. Like they were so pumped. It's like, she finally. And then I've only had one instance of someone who was a bit shit, and the other person in the fire team reported him to the server for being a bit shit. He's gone now.
Hell yeah.
Because he was just your usual chud. Girl, bit you fat, like the whole time. And I'm like, bro, I'm just here to kill minotaurs. Shut up. Like, reported him on Destiny and then muted him. The guy, because it's a 3 stack.
Yeah.
The other guy who was running it was like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, I've reported him to Bungie and I've blocked him. And he's like, oh, I pinged the mods about him.
Good.
I was like, oh, thank you. And then the bot was like, bye.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to look into that because there's like, I have not stayed up on the lost sectors and things like that. So there's like probably 3 or 4 seasons worth of exotics, like the armor that I'm missing.
Well, I had a void build that did not have old gods.
Oh, yeah.
And then I found out about the Broodweaver arms or whatever it is, where you can pick up your old god and reset it.
Sure. Oh, like get the charge back.
You pick it up and it follows you around until you critical hit another one and it goes back, and you can do it for a little bit and then eventually it fades out.
Right. Okay.
With the build I had 4 or 5 old gods running at the same time.
Jesus.
Because they stack.
It's disgusting.
So you can pick one up, drop another well. Oopie, now you have 2.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's the dog barking. I'm just going to go and fucking deal with that.
I can hear Sergey ripping up a paper bag. I'm going to let him do it if it keeps him quiet.
Yeah. Okay. That was him
wanting
his bowl filled. So he's eating, which means we probably don't have long left. Because after that, he'll probably want to go outside, I assume. Where were we? We're talking about old gods. Yes.
Old gods. Now I have a bunch of them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because I know that, like, in particular, I think it's this season, Titan's got arms that are really fucking good for solar builds. And I need to have that. I must collect.
Do Vex inclusion with me.
Yeah, okay, so we've got a busy night ahead of us.
I'm in the server, so I can tell you when they're coming.
Sick. So, quick question. Is next season 23?
Yes.
Okay. Before we get into the notes that I actually put in here, I remember probably from a couple of seasons back when they were talking about making all sparrows as fast as always on time. That was targeting season 23. I'm very excited.
I feel bad for y'all during Christmas again, because I'm going to get the good old ring ting tingle bong bing bong bingle bong boo mobile out.
Yes. Well, and the thing for me, though, is like, I don't always want to ride a thing that looks like always on time. I miss my micro mini. I miss dumb sparrows because they're not fast like that.
Oh.
I think
my spider out and zip around.
Well, I think from memory what they said they were doing is boosting the speed on all sparrows, but the thing that is different about always on time is it's got 6 boost charges as opposed to 3 compared that every other sparrow has. So like there's still a differentiating factor there, but like that almost never comes in handy.
Yeah, unless you're doing the opening for DSC.
Even then, like the number of times you need to be hitting a new boost that often, like that quickly together, is pretty rare. More often, I think I would say it gets used in Grasp of Avarice in that sparrow section. I find myself doing a lot of side boosting to just like quickly adjust my trajectory to like dodge stuff. And that will like, you know, take a chunk out of it. So having 6 of them, because you're holding a boost, you start a boost and you're holding that, so you're at 5. And then I would probably go through 4, 5 side boosts, easy. before I hit the end of it. So it's stuff like that where you need that extra bit of maneuverability, but it's one thing in the entire game. One section. I don't think I need it, but it's good. It means that I can start picking sparrows that go with builds and like theme it with my armor.
Or just be a menace on a real dumb sparrow. Like I want to buy that.
Your microphone fully just died.
Whoa. How about now?
Yeah, it's good. Which sparrow did you want to get? Still can't hear you. It's gone. No, there it is.
Hey.
Are you just like bumping the cable?
Yeah, okay. It's a Yeti. It's not good.
Yeah. But yes, fast sparrows.
Yeti doing Yeti things.
I'm very excited for...
I want the hearse, and I'm going to zip around in that and just be an absolute fucking menace. My crab, my hearse, my spider.
The thing is, like, I've been always on time pilled for so long that I don't even remember other sparrows that I have other than the micro mini. Because that was, like, the thing I used. Because it's funny.
There was a period where we used to cruise around on the pleasure barges because that's just a funny sparrow and then also just a funny sequence of words.
Yes, I'm going to ride my pleasure barge. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Also, my old Destiny 2 name used to be Callus's Pleasure Barge.
It was for a bit there. But notes from a couple of spots this week about some hot updates next season. Thorn 1 is getting a catalyst, which says plus 20 range, plus 10 stability. Getting kills or picking up a remnant grants additional range, handling, and mobility. So that's gross.
As someone who has started floating around as a warlock, you know, the thing you're meant to be doing, but I did not do for a really long time.
That
makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me happy to, like, in air, get more range and stability.
Yeah. But also, they're adding that picking up the remnant can overflow the magazine up to 40 rounds max. That gun cannot hold 40 bullets.
Yes, it can. Clearly.
Yeah, like I haven't used Thorn in a minute because like I don't play Warlock often, but also like I've used it on Titans, and I'm trying to remember which build I would have had that in. Probably just like an ag clear build, but on Void or something like that. But this might bump Thorn back into the rotation a bit more.
I just realized how unhinged the gross little goblin build is going to be with necrotics.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Strand on top of that.
Uh-huh.
Gross little goblin mode.
Yeah.
Going to get out the green goblin build again.
Yes. Yes. And then these ones you've dropped in here. I'm guessing,
they're interesting.
I'm guessing those were from
they're from yesterday's.
The TWID.
This week. At Destiny. Twad.
No, it's TWID.
Twad.
This week in Destiny, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
Anyway, the weekly update.
Yeah. Season 23, you'll be able to get access to your vault from Orbit.
That's very good.
And
that I think is like almost the last bit of the loadouts puzzle, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And then eventually they said after that they're going to look into being able to access it anywhere in game.
Yep.
So no more panic opening. Oh, I'll probably still use dim. I'm loyal. But
I think I'll probably still keep it open just so I can see how full my postmaster is, if nothing else.
Yeah, you no more panic opening dim to like grab what you meant to grab. But the way they introed it immediately made me think of you and I, where it was like, so you're getting ready for a raid and you're waiting for everyone else to get their builds together and level up and do what they need to do, put their mods in, and you're, you know, they said something about like banging some sick beats, distracted, maybe you're on your phone, and then your fire team leader hits load in and you realize you haven't changed your loadout, or you realize you haven't fixed your mods or you haven't grabbed the right gun or the right helmet. So you got to panic and decide, do I just load in and like deal with it? Or do I say, hey, can you cancel and be the bane of your entire fire team? And I was just like,
man.
oh my God, me
Been
all
there.
the time.
Yep.
Me every single raid. I was just like, I'm the reason Chili has to ask before he hits launch raid. Has everyone got what they needed?
That's not just you. I've done it.
But I thought that little intro was like, and then them to be like, so if you're like panicking right now or recoiling, this is going to be for you. I was like, it is for me.
Yes.
Another big one is they're dropping the cost of ghost mods.
Like removing it entirely?
No, so they're dropping them down. So
Right.
one of the mods was 6 slots. It's now 1 slot.
What?
Yeah, it's a 1 cost.
Wow.
And they want that so that you can stack different mods.
To boost the effect.
So you can have your... What's the one where it finds everything?
Like finds...
the glimmer treasure. You know, it stacks.
Yeah, the like treasure hunter is like it'll find loot boxes and things like that, right?
Yeah, so you can stack that with like another class item mod and another class item mod so that you can... They want more customizability in the class items because at the moment, the class items are kind of, despite the fact they're called a class item, they're a bit of a forgotten aspect of the build.
Well, they also don't really do anything class specific.
Yeah, but it's like, it's just a home for finder mods.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or like Reaper or whatever. Like, and they want to make that more flexible so that you don't have to make such a big sacrifice to change your mods around. You don't have to sacrifice 3 mods to get 1 mod in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some of them are being dropped pretty dramatically. Some of them are only having a 1 or 2 cost drop. Some of them are having a 3 cost drop. The biggest I saw was, I can't remember which one, but it's dropped from 6 cost to 1 cost.
Wow.
And they were like, there's no reason for some of these mods to be as expensive as they are. No reason for it. I thought that was big.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, cool. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And they've given me another reason to talk to Rahul next season. I'm not happy about it. The less I have to do with that man, the better. Rahul can now break down 1 enhancement prism into 5 enhancement cores.
Okay.
For a $2,500 glimmer cost, and you can only do it 3 times a week. So they're capping it because they know people would spam the shit out of that. But that's just interesting. Unfortunately, gives me another reason to talk to him.
It is annoying because like a prism costs 10 cores. Why are you only getting 5 back? Why we're losing something there. I mean, yeah, like you can drop prisms from activity, so you could be getting 5 for free. Well, for 2,500 glimmer. But like, I think about it more of like, well, what if you've just made a bunch of them and now they're taking up inventory space and you can't get more because you're full? Like, it's a little annoying that you don't just get you don't get the conversion equally.
I feel like there's got to be a reason they decided to do it that way. There's obviously a demand for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't waste time implementing it. It's just, what is the demand? What is the purpose? And why the uneven ROI?
Yeah. Yeah, it probably is something around like, you know, there are multiple sources that will drop enhancement prisms. They don't want to like tank the economy in the game. Like, I don't know that they would actually be selling that much cash for glimmer through the stores, but they have to be selling some.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe this is one of the reasons why people would need more glimmer. Haven't had to worry about glimmer in a long time, though.
Same. I actually capped out on glimmer again the other day because I don't spend it.
Yeah. What do you spend it on? I don't know.
Give me bright dust. Fuck the glimmer. Give me more bright dust.
Yeah, that's the stuff they want you to pay for, though. Bright dust, glimmer. No, silver, sorry.
Yeah.
That's where all the good shit is. The cosmetics.
I'm a vain little bitch.
Gotta make your space wizard pretty.
I don't impress my space wife.
Yes.
She's trapped up in the stratosphere, but she'll be back.
She went out for smokes, and
Oh no, my wife.
the thing is,
my
like,
beautiful wife.
she hasn't come back, but we can see her from the front window. It's weird.
Kinda.
Yeah. Yes.
My beautiful wife.
All right. The pets in this house are now demanding my attention.
Rambunctious.
And we, luckily, have gotten through all of our...
Sundowning has started.
Yes, we've luckily gotten through all of our prepared content for this week. So I'm going to get out of here. So that's going to be it for this episode of Erico Blueberry. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Happy birthday.
Coming back.
Happy birthday for the
patient.
other day again.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, yes, thank you for returning and sticking with us. We've got lives. Shit happens. Hit the buttons, like us, tell your friends, tell the algorithm more than anything, because then it can do the work of telling people for you and for us, and that's frankly easier.
Come say hi at events.
Do that, although it's basically just PAX.
Do the reverse. Say hi to Chili and then don't come say hi to me.
No, because that's just the patriarchy at work, and we can't have that. Grow up. All right.
Do better.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'll figure better.